it was sad the way some of our colleagues behaved during the budget presentation by Mr. President. I'm in my 20th year in the National Assembly, from the House of Reps to this place. I never witnessed anything like that. For 16 years, from 1999 to 2015, those of us in opposition behaved so well, so cooperatively, whenever the budget presentation by PDP president would take place. We conducted ourselves with dignity and respect because the president is an office, and that office must be respected at all times. No matter how partisan you would be, there are times that you shape politics and emphasize governance. And governance, especially in a democracy like ours, is not an executive business alone. It's a business that requires partnership, coordination, cooperation between us in the legislature and the executive arm of government. So, before this budget presentation, COPS, I don't know what they stand for, coalition of political party, blah, 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 and organizations and individuals with similar disorientation were urging some members of the National Assembly, particularly those in opposition, not to participate in the budget presentation, not to support Mr. President when he comes. That was for someone who is not a member of the National Assembly. That was for someone who has no responsibility. Any and every member of the National Assembly, regardless of his or her political party, has an obligation and the responsibility to behave and conduct himself or herself with dignity and respect, because we represent people. We don't represent ourselves. No federal constituency or senatorial district will encourage any member or senator to come and try to disrupt the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria during budget presentation. By the way, the budget presentation is for the entire country. For us, we are supposed to listen because we are going to work on this document. For Nigerians who are not members of the National Assembly, they will have the opportunity to also listen to their president, talk to them what the government or his administration has been able to achieve in the last 1 year, what it has not been able to achieve, its difficulties and successes, and its plans for the next 1 year. So to disrupt the presentation of the budget by the president, I think is unbecoming of any of us legislators. Anybody at any time outside of the National Assembly, outside the chambers, we could go partisan. We could say whatever the law allows us to say against whoever. But once we are in our chambers, that is an environment that is supposed to be solemn. We are supposed to respect our institution. We are supposed to give it the kind of dignity it deserves, because if we don't, nobody else will do that. And in fact, if we continue this trend, God forbid, Nigerians will lose faith in the National Assembly. We are battling with our public image already. We shouldn't do anything that will make it worse. Having said this, let me say that the budget presentation, or what was presented for 2019, is the desire of the administration to continue to build on what it has started. It is the desire of this administration led by President Muhammad Buhari to build on these foundations that we have laid so well. And let me remind us that when this administration came in 2015, we inherited a terrible economic mess, a terrible security situation, even though they don't want us to say it. But like Kwame Nkrumah will say, please don't judge us on the height but of where we are, but by the depth of where we were. Because the depth is also a height. We came out of a very mighty and deep hole economically. The security situation was deep down, and yet we came at a time when revenues accruable to the federal government were less, far less than the PDP had. But you know what is working for us? With the President Muhammad Buhari at the helm of affairs, it's not easy to steal. Even those that have specialized in stealing find it difficult because they know the law will catch up with you. And therefore, the little that we receive as revenues are put to use maximally. The plenty that they had, they stole all of it because corruption was never seen as a crime. In fact, corruption was a virtue. At one time, somebody said what they call corruption was mere stealing. And of course, they stole everything and left Nigerians with nothing. The 2014 appropriation bill had only 15% for capital allocation, 85% swollen by recurrent. When we came in 2015, from 2015, we have always provided for nothing less than 30% for capital allocation. As of today, in 2018, we have spent over 800 billion in infrastructure development. Go around Nigeria. Just like the president said, there is no state that doesn't have one road project or the other that is going on. Every part of Nigeria is enjoying, including the southeast and the south-south, where the president was not, did not win. The second Niger bridge, Obasanjo went there, broke the ground twice. Jonathan went there, broke the ground maybe 3 times. They even gave him a Zukwe, just to maybe make him feel he's from there. Muhammad Buhari didn't go there to break any ground. But you know what? Today, second Niger bridge is about 45% of completion. We are spending billions of naira because we believe that every part of Nigeria must receive justice and fairness. So we are doing a lot. And what 2019 means is building on all these good things that this administration is doing. So it is a budget of consolidation, a budget of continuity. It is a budget of sincerely making Nigeria united and taking it to the next level. Whether someone likes it or not, we are performing. These people that they are saying they want to come back, Nigerians will not forget easily and quickly when you stole everything. The public treasury was left with nothing. Even our common patrimony, they sold everything to themselves. Everything. They sold everything. All the public enterprises, they sold to themselves. Little wonder that they will also privatize NNPC when they come in. We know what that means. So, the budget presented, I believe that Nigerians will take the opportunity provided, and beyond the 10 billion naira for Bank of Industry, we have other social investment projects and programs. And I believe that Nigerians, especially the youth, because our programs for social investment programs, which we provide 500 billion every year, have been more successful than any previous social investment programs. As of today, in our Empower, we have captured about 500,000 youth across the country. Well, I don't want to recount what the president said, and I'm not spokesperson for the president. But of course, I'm his party man, I'm his leader. So I have to say some of these facts for the records. Our feeding program alone in schools, school feeding programs, which about 26 states are participating, we have captured over 9 million pupils across the country, regardless of political persuasion, because many of the states enjoying this are even opposition, ruled by opposition party or parties. And therefore, we want to make Nigeria better. We know our limitations, of course. There are people who have ganged up. They don't want development because development will free people from poverty. All they will say is they will go to the rallies and say, there is hunger in the land. There is poverty. Of course, there will be hunger. We are fighting that. We are fighting poverty because you stole everything. Who said there won't be hunger? When one person stole billions of dollars in Lagos alone, in Lekki Peninsula, estates built worth over 37 billion naira. Nobody can come out and say this is mine. But we know these are stolen, created from stolen funds. So we are going to make Nigeria better, and by the grace of God, most Nigerians will be on board. Any Nigerian who wants development, any Nigerian who is honest will pitch his stand with President Muhammad Buhari.
Thank you very much.
No. See, the North-East Development Commission is not the same thing as PCNI, the Presidential Committee on North-East Initiative. They are different things. This one, the PCNI, is headed by T.Y. Danjuma. You can see how magnanimous the president can be, even though that's PDP. But, so, I don't know. I thought it was so, okay. But PCNI takes the 45 billion. North-East Development Commission is a body established by law. And the takeoff will now have a fund of 10 billion. Takeoff is not development. Maybe it is secure offices, employ the lay foundation. So the real development or funding of Northeast will start after the structures are put in place. We could have an end of PCNI by the time the Northeast Development Commission picks up properly. So don't match, because when you match, I support Niger Delta. Someone will tell you, so Northeast is just coming on board and is receiving 55 billion, while the NEDC is 65 billion amnesty, blah, blah, blah. So we don't want people to start this comparison, because for now we are in peace. We are all supporting ourselves. You see, we passed the Southeast Development Commission. Oh, okay, Amaka, congratulations. Southwest are brought there. Even though Southwest is more developed than anywhere, but it's okay. Northwest are brought their own. Thank you very much. So.